So you're a world champion, you're a decorated fighter, you're a legend in your country. You're a legend out here. 250 fights, you fought MMA, K1, boxing, bare knuckle.
I fought in Nigeria, Africa, Rio de Janeiro. I fought in China, I fought in Japan, Tokyo, yeah. I regret nothing.
The first time I met Daniel, we were actually going to fight each other. Tell me about your hardest fight.
Wow. 2 or 3 days after this fight, my complete leg was black. I'm one of the best of the world, really, because we destroyed everybody. And right away, I won this first world championship. I was 21 years old. That was it, really easily. Yeah.
What was your average day of training? What did you do? What time did you get up? How many runs did you do? What was your split?
Okay, so it's very simple. Mindset and your attitude is more than 60-70% for everything. An intelligent fighter tells you, I'm not nervous, I'm not scared. It's a lie, it's not true. Everybody is fucking nervous. Discipline doesn't matter, yeah. Make sure you delete this later.
Okay people, so we're back on the channel and we're switching it up a little bit. We've got the legend, the man, the myth, Daniel, the peaceful warrior, Dörrer, a very, very interesting character. He's got a very interesting career and I'm looking forward to diving into some of his thoughts today with the podcast. So here we are, 10 rounds with Ryan Mack, switching it up a little bit. So Daniel, tell me, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Brother, thank you also so much for having me. Cool that you're here. Nice that you come to our gym, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we're just here now at Southside MMA. You coach here, right?
Yes, correct, yeah.
Yes, you're a boxing coach and a kickboxing coach.
Yes, at the moment I help in the Muay Thai classes.
Yeah.
I help in all the disciplines I am still fighting. So because I'm MMA fighter, I help in everything what we have here. I help in the Muay Thai class, in the MMA class, but at the moment I help most of my classes. I'm good with kids. I teach all the kids classes at the moment every day here in our gym. So yeah, that's basically everything. Sometimes I help out in the jiu-jitsu, all the classes. Yeah, because I'm all-rounder fighter, so I can teach everything. I can fight everything. That's it. I have fun to train and work with people. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying that fighting's been your life from day one, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How many fights have you had?
Wow. Last month in Germany, December 7, I made my 250th fight in every discipline. So, like I said, I'm an all-rounder. I fought in every discipline. This was a bare knuckle boxing match in Frankfurt, Germany, in the center of Germany. And yeah, this was my last fight. Next is already in the making.
Yeah. Every time I go on my Instagram, you're fighting all the time. As a fighter, respect.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, Daniel, let's take it back from the start. Okay. So, what got you into combat sports? What got you into it? What was the fire that lit you in your belly?
This is very funny because this question comes every time. Until today, I think I'm not very able to answer this very nice and very correct because I just was born. Then always in my life, I looked for competition with other boys, with other men. They are in my weight class, let's say like this. Yeah. If I was chilling at the beach with my friends, we just wrestled at the beach. Always fighting a little bit, always this physically challenge with other men. I enjoyed this all my life, already as a young boy, yeah, in kindergarten already, yeah, just pushing, fighting a little bit, yeah, always in a respectful way, very natural way, yeah. For sure, then I watched some movies, and every time when I saw with my papa, I saw a boxing match on the TV. I will always look like this. I want to see that, Papa, can we watch this boxing fight? Can we watch this boxing match on TV? I enjoyed watching the movies, martial arts movies, these old school movies, you all saw of them. And that was it. I always loved fighting all my life. I don't really have a reason why fighting, and maybe not why football, maybe not why basketball or something. I just felt it from the beginning. Wow, fighting is my life. I want to fight. That's it. This is my explanation I always have.
And that's quite a common answer as well. I feel like with fighting, you either love it or you hate it. You don't just sort of...
Absolutely. Exactly.
Everyone's the same. Anyone who watches a movie or anyone that sees a fight firsthand, who gets into a fight, you go home, you're thinking about it, you're analysing it, you're thinking about it all the time, and every day you want to get better at fighting. Okay, cool.
Absolutely,
so when was your first fight then? Talk about your first fight.
Yeah, for sure. It was amateur kickboxing fight, yeah. Very, very early. I think I trained before. I trained long time without being interested in any official competitions. I was always looking for this physical test for competitions, but never fought officially somewhere. Then I was, so I trained long time. I started to training with about 6 or 7 years, and my first fight, real official fight, was a kickboxing match when I was 16 years old. So I trained long time, and before that, because I never never fought officially somewhere outside of the gym, sparring for sure, but no official fight. I had no idea on which level we are fighting on. I had no idea.
You have to learn the hard way sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So there was this local tournament in our area. We just saw that and we thought, okay, let's give it a try. Let's just try it. So my best friend and I training together at the same time at this in this period. Very young, 15, 16 years old. Yeah, we just said, okay, let's sign up to this tournament. So we went there and wanted to, just for fun, it came up with this idea, let's check our level. Let's check how good we are or how bad we are. Yeah. And we went there, destroyed everybody. Yeah, and just went home. This was my first fight. Yeah, with 16 years old. Like I said, a little small kickboxing tournament. Yeah, and then it all started. Then everything started from this day.
And then from there you realized that this is what I want to do.
Yes, I knew this already before, but then we realized, hey, maybe it's really possible to do a little bit more than just average.
Yeah.
Because then, one of my friends, he was already in competitions long time. He got part of the German national team in kickboxing.
Wow.
And this was maybe when I was 17 years old. And then, because in training, I was always able to dominate him. But then, because he was always making competitions and fight, then he told me one day, hey, I made it to the German national team in kickboxing. And then I thought, for sure, I was super happy for him. But I thought, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. And then from this day, then I was about 18 years old. From this day, it did not took me a long time, but from this day, I was like infected with like a fever. Every day I woke up in the morning and I was thinking, man, I want to be so much part of the German national team.
Yeah.
And then it took me then we started to go on the national, bigger kickboxing tournaments. At this time it was the WKA tournaments in kickboxing. And after 2 or 3 months, after 2 or 3 tournaments, yeah, the national coach of Germany, he started calling me, talk to me a little bit more, and I realized, hey, wow, it's really possible maybe to do a little bit more than just average. Yeah. So I went to all these tournaments. All time I go home with the first place. I won all of these tournaments, and then the national coach, he said to me, okay, at the end of the year, you are able to fight at the World Championships in Spain. This was in my amateur career how everything started, because we beat everybody in the national championships, German national championship, international German championship, everything, and it was really just like a walkthrough, really just like a walkthrough. Yeah, we destroyed everybody without showing off. Really, this was no problem. Then I was part of the German national team after maybe 3 or 4 months joining these tournaments. At the end of this year, it was 2006. I was 21. Then I flew to Germany. It's my first big international amateur world championship in Spain, Benidorm, in the south of Spain in Costa Blanca. And right away I won this first world championship. I was 21 years old. That was it. Then I was 22, fought in another world championship. I won this again, and really easily. Yeah, amateur. I talk about amateur. And then I got a very important call from a big management company in Munich. The big metropole in southeast Germany. Yes, and then I was professional, and from there everything started like crazy.
Good.
Yeah.
So you mentioned there that you were training with the amateur national team.
Yes.
You've already got the bug now. You've seen the potential. You're walking through guys. You're destroying everybody. You're feeling motivated. You're going to make it as a world champion. Now, as everyone knows, the most important thing is training, nutrition, rest and recovery in boxing, in kickboxing, any combat sport.
Yeah.
Can you just talk me through, like, what was your average day of training? What did you do? What time did you get up? How many runs did you do? What was your split?
Okay, when I was when I really started to train more professional, I really went to run every day in the morning, my 11-12 kilometers before I go to school or before I go to university. So I was training even more than I train today, because my understanding of smart and intelligent training changed a little bit. Yeah, yes. I will talk about my training, how I train at the moment. We'll talk about this in 1 minute. But before, because you said for sure fighters have to train a lot, understand everything about training and nutrition and everything. This is very true. But I think for me, my biggest strength in fighting and in understanding the sport is maybe not because I studied sports science at university, so this helps me also a lot. But this is maybe not the biggest part what helps me for my career, for winning my fights. I think the biggest power I have for the success in fighting is my mental, how can you say in English? Yeah, yes, exactly. My mindset, because I think maybe I'm technically not the best fighter. Also physically, about my conditioning, I'm not the best in the world. But mentally, I think I'm one of the best of the world, really, because I always think positive about everything what happens. If I win, if I lose, before every fight, I have this mindset, I go in, I can win. Usually this happens. And my mindset, I think, is my strongest weapon, yeah. I have good technique, I'm strong. Now I'm 40 years old, I'm physically still, I feel really super perfect, yeah. But I think my biggest strength, my biggest power is my mindset, my attitude towards the sport, and yeah, I think that's it.
I can definitely relate to that because I started boxing late, and sometimes I spar or fight guys that have got way more experience than me. Better skills, better speed, not necessarily better power, just better fighters, better well-schooled fighters. And I always seem to think when I'm in there with them sparring or I'm fighting, I always seem to think in my head, what's the difference?
Yes.
And it comes down to the mindset and the heart.
I think really this is more than mindset, and your attitude is more than 60-70% for everything. I did fights, for example, super unprepared. No training before, because I came from a resting period, not too long always, but not in super best shape. Sometimes with fever, sometimes with a broken rib, sometimes with little injuries. So really not the best preparation at all. I fought, I knocked them out in the first round, second round. This is possible. Then I had fights, preparation was perfect. 2 weeks of a perfect training camp, no injuries, nothing, and I lose this fight. So everything happens. I really think, I believe 100% that what happens here upstairs is the most important, especially in this sport. That's what I believe.
Yeah, great reply. So the next thing I want to ask you, Daniel, is this is what many people ask me. Why do they call you the peaceful warrior?
Okay.
Because I've heard many stories, but I want to hear it from you.
I tell you, it's very simple. When I started studying at university, a very good friend of mine, he presented me his favorite book. The book is called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, written by Dan Millman. So I was traveling home with the train about 2 hours, and I started to read this book. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and then I started to realize, what the fuck, this book is actually about me. Because in this book is a young sportsman. He's not a fighter. His name is also the same name. His name is Daniel. This is the first parallel. So much more. Also, then later in the book, he has a very bad big injury on his foot. I had the same. He studied sports science at university. I did the same. He was world champion on the trampoline. Okay, I was world champion in kickboxing. But it doesn't matter, because in the end, the principle is always the same. It doesn't matter which sport. The book is just called, the name, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. I started to read that book. The name is the same. My name is the same, like the main character of the book. And Dan Millman, actually it's a book about his life. And yes, it's also about philosophy and the message of the peaceful warrior, always to show respect and a big discipline, show respect and a loyalty to your opponents and everything. That's very important. So I think a fighter nickname you don't choose for yourself. You should not do that, because when I start to call myself, I'm the dragon or something, that's just stupid. You don't do that. People have to call you first. And if you like it, maybe you can accept it. So all my friends, because I was talking all the time, I talk about this book, blah, 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 this book, hey, this, I have to tell you this story, I read this, I read that, hey, this happened, and it's a complete life is always a very big spiritual journey. And this book, this helped me a lot. From this book, it's my favorite book of my life. And then after a while, my friends also started to read that book. There is even a movie with Nick Nolte, very good movie about this book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, same. And then after a while, they called me that name because they said, man, this is your life. This is just your life. I like this, the message of the book. It's also, like I said, my message. It's very peaceful, very respectful. Every time, also in all of my fight preparations or interviews, or when I have a stare down with other fighters, it's always usually good vibes, a lot of respect, discipline, and this was fighting for me. This is what is fighting for me.
That's such a cool insight, because like I said, there's so many speculations why they call you that. And I said to you today off camera, I said I want to ask you, and you said
ask me.
It's nice. Cool, it's nice to have a story behind the nickname. Like I'm the butcher.
I know that
because I used to be the butcher. And like you say, someone else gave me that name.
And I'm sure, because people, they can. First of all, it's important that you can identify with the name.
Yes.
Not what everybody, yeah, there's so many different names, yeah, but for your nickname, for example, perfectly fits you, yeah.
Yes.
And if you compare my nickname to my life attitude, also to my lifestyle, to everything, yeah. Also with the life in Thailand and Buddhism and everything a little bit. This is, it's a round thing. It's one puzzle. Everything comes together.
What a brilliant answer. It's really good to know. 250 fights. You fought MMA, K1, boxing, bare knuckle. You've done it all. Tell me about your hardest fight. Tell me.
Okay, I had a lot for sure. If we talk about my most technically strongest opponent, maybe it was, I have so many examples because so many fights. I just mentioned 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I had a very, very difficult, technically strong fight and opponent. This was in Prague. I fought against Peter Kareš. It was a kickboxing fight, 2009 in Prague. I lost this fight on points. It was a 5 rounds K1 kickboxing fight. Yeah, this guy was just so super technical. Yeah, he always threw the left, right, and inside low kick to my left leg. 2 or 3 days after this fight, my complete leg was black from here to there. Yeah, he was very technical. I could not really put him in the corner. I was putting pressure all the time, going forward, forward, forward. Okay, he was the local champion, so I had to knock him out. I knew that before, but because you know it before, it's never a problem. Everything is okay. I lost this fight, respectful opponent. We shake hands, everything nice, everything good. I could visit Prague a little bit, first time in my life. Nice city, everything nice. This was maybe technically the strongest opponent I had. The most toughest one, it was, I'm sure you don't find this on YouTube, this was an amateur fight. I fought against a guy from Russia. It was in the semi-final of the World Amateur Championships in 2007 in the south of Germany. I fought a guy called Vyacheslav, and he was just super strong and so hard punches. Yes, Russian guy. And with every punch he delivered, I just thought I'm getting hit by a car. It was just, this was one of the toughest ones. I also fought one very technically skilled MMA fighter in Moscow, was 2016. I fought Valentin Moldavsky. No, this was St. Petersburg. I mix up all this, there's too much fights. Yeah, this was in St. Petersburg. I fought Valentin Moldavsky. Very, very nice event. This was Fight Nights Global, one of the biggest promotions in Russia. Super good fight, but he was technically too strong for me. Yeah, he's grappling all these wrestlers, you know, these Russian guys. Yeah, the grappling, the wrestling, and also for sure they are physically in the best condition. Yeah, and I lost this fight also, but this was maybe for in MMA the physically and technically strongest opponent I had, talking about MMA. Yeah, I can give you 1,000 other examples, but now I mentioned these 3 names. I have 100 more, so yes, maybe this.
Well, that's so obviously they were your hardest fights, and as a fighter, when you experience these hard fights, you're in there, you're necessarily fighting for your life. So the preparation that goes into that, something we touched on before about the training, the nutrition. The biggest thing, like we said, was mindset. So before a fight, how do you fall into character, if you will? How do you get yourself mentally prepared before a fight? Do you get nervous? And what would you say to some of the young fans that may be looking up to you or watching this channel now, who may be going for their first fight or they struggle with nerves before the fight? How do you, the champion, the peaceful warrior, deal with this?
Yes, okay. I try to answer in 2 parts. First, how I do it, and then maybe a little bit advice.
Yes.
So how do I do it? It's for sure, after a while, if you make more fights, you have a little bit of a routine. For example, about half an hour, 20 minutes before the fight, I just take a chair, I sit and I stretch my lungs a little bit. I do a little bit of breath work. Yes, I'm sitting and I try to catch some deep breaths. Like this, yeah, I stretch my lungs. This has 2 very big effects. First one is your lungs are stretched, you get more oxygen in. Second is, it's a big part of meditation. You calm down a little bit, you are relaxed. I'm never a too much aggressive fighter. For sure, I deliver hard punches and everything, but in fighting, I'm always relaxed. I'm always very, relaxed, very I feel super big fire for sure, especially also if you fight that, you know, in this fight there will be a lot of blood. If you fight a bare knuckle fight, you know it's not golf. You know, it's like a little boxing sparring every Saturday. This is different, yeah, okay. But so I try to focus on my breath, and I know, because we train, I experience so much. I know what will happen today in the cage or in the boxing ring or on the mats. What happens today, it will not surprise me because everything happened before already. Yes. Nothing new will happen. I know always nothing new will happen. Just the same. And when something happens what I don't like, then I know it already. Maybe I get punched, maybe I break my hand, maybe I get a bruised rib or something, maybe he break my nose, yeah?
But
maybe
you have the answers for that.
Yes, maybe a cut, maybe just something, yeah. But then I always know, okay, I know that already. I've been there. I know that already. So this comes with routine, with your experience a little bit. But again, to answer this in the same way, you said before about, we talked about mindset. This was already from after 2, 3, 4 fights. I already had this attitude. I already had this feeling that I'm cool with that, because I go outside, I go in the cage, I go in the boxing ring, and I do exactly what I want to do today.
Yeah.
Today I do what I love. Yes, fighting is tough. You get hurt, it's painful a little bit. Losing is not fun. Winning is always more fun than losing. The next thing is, when you start to make bigger fights, all these guys, they look at you now, and they not only want to see you win. I know, my family is watching, my friends are watching, yeah. In Russia, I fought in front of 20,000 people, live on TV, you understand, also live on Eurosport. So there is a lot of pressure, because now they not only want to see you win, they just actually want to check, hey, this guy, he can really fight? Yeah. Is he worth his name?
They want to see you perform.
Yes, this is Daniel, he's world champion. I look at him, he really can fight, and this is also a big pressure thing, because you have to prove not only that you are worth your name, people are watching, yeah, people want to see, he can really fight, yes or not, I will look at him, I look at him in training, in the official fight and whatever, yeah. So this is the next thing that people really, it's a lot of pressure, yeah, when you really have to prove your name. You are the world champion. You are the champion, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay? My last world championship fight was 2017 in New York City. I fought in the Hotel Mandarin Oriental against Alexei Papin. I won in round 4 with a spinning head kick. This was one of my best fights I ever showed. And also in this situation, in this location, very beautiful location in New York City, Manhattan. It was crazy, because I know everybody is watching. It's super important fight for an important belt of a big Russian promotion, RKF Professional in Russia, big promotion. So it was important, and for sure you are nervous. Everybody's nervous. If you talk to the best fighters, they will never say I'm not nervous. If a fighter, an intelligent fighter, tells you I'm not nervous, I'm not scared, it's a lie, it's not true. Everybody is fucking nervous, yeah? I have so many examples, also funny examples, but yeah, what do I do before a fight? I'm breathing, I focus on myself, and I know today, yes, it will be hard, it will be maybe painful, yeah? Maybe I lose, but I do exactly what I want to do. I do today exactly what I love.
It's a great answer. It's a really good answer. So you're a world champion. You're a decorated fighter. You're a legend in your country. You're a legend out here.
Thank you. I try my best. Yeah. I'm 40 years already, so I still feel I have some few good fights in me, and I will do that. Yeah. 300 fights is my goal. 50 more to go. Let's see. I feel super good. I have no injuries. My knees are okay. My hands are not broken. Everything is really super okay. I have few scars on my face. Last year, a few new ones. Everything okay, but. Yeah, so I try my best. Yeah, I try my best. My prime is over, for sure. That's clear. My prime is over, but I can compensate a little bit with a lot of experience, with my knowledge about training, about preparation and everything. So I still feel super strong, physically super strong. Let's see what will happen.
Yeah, you look great. You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask you how many fights did you call it a day? I think I've known you about 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll ever stop fighting.
It's true. Yeah. It was funny because when I moved to Thailand, it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I had about 180 fights, and then people asked me, I had an interview or something, people asked me, hey Daniel, you moved to Thailand now, you are over 30 years old, when you want to stop? You think about stopping, about quitting your career? And I said, maybe, let's say I make 200 fights, okay, then I stop. Now it's 250, now I think about 300, so we never know what will happen, but let's just see what will happen. I feel strong, I feel okay, I still love every training what I do, I love sparring. Sparring is for me the most important part in training, the most fun part also. I do everything for sure, we do conditioning, strength training, running, everything, pads, everything, but sparring is what I love the most, and every training I go, I wake up in the morning, yes, today I do what I love the most, This is also a big thing about fighting. We forgot this because you asked me for advice for younger fighters, yes. I just give an example for me, and then maybe we can make a transition. Because before, and I'm sure for you it was the same, at the beginning of your career, you have to pay for the tournament you can start. And you have more expenses than income for a fight.
Yes.
And at the beginning, when I visited an amateur tournament, I paid 30, 40 bucks to start, to be able to start at the tournament. So you pay money that you get beaten. Yes. Maybe you lose, And this is the thing, for maybe a little advice, when you start fighting, and when you are at the beginning of your journey in fighting, just be humble, don't expect too much, because what's very important, that I cannot say this too loud, yeah, so maybe you delete this later, okay? But, no, I'm joking, for sure, you can say that, I make no secrets. I would fight, if you do a big, important fight, for sure it's nice to get some money.
Yes.
But I would do it for free, man. I would do it for free, because
that's what you
yes,
love.
for sure, you fight for money. You fight for money. But at the same time, I do this, we do that because we love fighting. Yeah.
100%.
So the first main motivation, it's not the nice purse what you get after the fight. It's because you do what you love. I love fighting, and I would fight anyway, with or without money. Yeah. Make sure you delete this later.
I'm with or without gloves. Yeah, it's nice that you said that, because, like you say, I feel exactly the same. I feel like I was born to fight.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
And whether it was 10 years old, 110 years old, I always see myself training, fighting, obsessing about fighting, watching fighting, learning about fighting all the time. And I think that's a core fighter. And like you say, you know, at the start, even if you're a prize fighter at the start, without sponsorship, the expenses, it's hard. And just getting past that point at the start of your career, that's a win in itself until you start making money.
100%, exactly. I agree 100% what you say, yes. That's great, man. Yes, that's really good. First time we actually talk with each other about stuff like this. Yes, I think for everybody who wants to think about fighting, starts his first 2, 3, 4 fights maybe, yeah. Just keep going, and understand that if you would not do it for free, then maybe it's not the right passion for you, not the right job for you, if you want to call it job. You should, because if you love your job, you would do it for free. You would do it for free, and it doesn't feel like working. It doesn't feel like a burden. You want to do it.
Yes.
You want to do it. You want to get up in the morning. You want to go to training. You want to fight. You take the pain, no problem, because you love it. Yes. You just love it, and that's why you do it again.
I love it, and I get a lot of stick at home, because my girlfriend will say, "You've been training boxing all day. You've been coaching boxing all day. You're watching boxing on your phone. You're boxing on the TV. Why don't you switch off?"
It's just love for the sport, love for this. Yes, like we said before we started the interview. Ryan, he said, either you are a fighter or you are not. I think you are born with this.
Yes.
I really think you are born with this. You are or you are not. If you are not, I think you cannot train that. You can try to get the feeling. You can make some fights, but if you are not born as a pure fighter from heart, as a natural fighter, you will never feel this love. You will never be this world champion. You will never fight on top level, because you miss the one most important thing, what is important for your success. This is the love for what you do every day. No matter what you do, it doesn't matter. Discipline doesn't matter, which sport or in fighting, which discipline or which profession you have, this doesn't matter. Always the same principle. If you love what you do, then you do it anyways. You will do it anyways if you love what you do.
I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more. And I think that's so important for everybody who's listening to this, who's considering taking up a fighting career, or you're a current fighter at the start of your career. Like Daniel just said, if you don't love this and you're not obsessed with this, maybe this isn't the position for you, because fighting's a dangerous sport, especially when you're fighting in the combat styles that you have. It gets very dangerous. Unless you're all in, maybe it's not the right, this isn't a money sport.
Yes.
The 1% of fighters will make $1 million, 10 million. Your Floyd Mayweather money.
Yes.
The rest of the fighters,
1%. Yes. I mean, we never say that you should not train if you want to, if you like martial arts.
100%.
Everybody can come to training. You come to train to get fit. If there is some old man or old man, woman, family coming to the gym, just have a good time. Perfect, super perfect. Do something, train something. Sport is perfect for everything. But if you really think about, you want to be world champion one day or have a little bit more success, it's only possible if you feel the motivation deep inside. Not because of money, not because of the fame, not because of the belt or the gold medal you win. No, you want to do it anyways.
Because it's who you are.
Yes, because it's what you are. It's what you are. And maybe you lose. I had in MMA, I lost 4 fights in a row. Then I also had the winning streak again. For example, my first, one of my first kickboxing matches, I lost. And then you think, I lost 1, I lost 2, maybe I won 1, I lost 3, whatever. Maybe it's not the right sport for me. Keep going, because then I had the winning streak of 32 fights. And I mean, you will lose fights, but it doesn't matter. You always come back. Sometimes I lost a fight, and people ask me after, wow, now you lost. Will you continue? And I don't understand this question. I never understood this question. What is this question? Will I continue? Continue with what?
It's a loser's mentality.
Yes. there is no question if I will continue. I will continue with life, and it's part of my life. So I just do what I ever do, what I always do. Yes. Train and fight forever. It's no question.
Yes, yeah. And that's the same for myself, definitely, because if I was to fall sick or if I get a bad injury, or come off a motorbike, for example, and I'm out of training for 6 weeks, I feel like my life starts falling apart. Fighting, combat sports, training, this lifestyle is the glue that holds everything else together.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Is it the same for you?
Absolutely, 100%, yeah. The best things in my life happened because of the sport. When I think about, I was traveling in every country. I did fights in countries I would have never visited. Yeah, yes. I fought in Nigeria, Africa. I flew to Rio de Janeiro. I made a fight in Rio de Janeiro. What a nice possibility, yeah, this. I fought in China, I fought in Japan, Tokyo, yeah, Okinawa, everywhere, yeah. Only because of fighting, yeah, so I regret nothing. I really regret nothing. I would always do the same again. Even if you lost the fight, yeah, I lost important fights. I won important fights, but I would do everything again. No regret, nothing.
So good to hear because you've had such a colourful career. Like I said, you're a legend, you're a very interesting character. And it's funny because me and Sam were talking about who we're going to have on the podcast, and you're the first person that came to my mind. So, funny story for you guys.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
The first time I met Daniel was we were actually going to fight each other.
Funny.
Yeah, it would have been a good fight. It would have been fun, definitely. And yeah, I got headbutted. I think it was a headbutt the day before. I came to this gym to face off with Daniel. I walked in. I was like, guys like this. We had a face off. My eye was swollen. They actually made me miss my flight because they thought I was going to get a hemorrhage. But maybe one day we'll run it back and have a good spot.
Always ready, brother. Always ready. Ready. No, it was a good decision. And we will see what will happen. Everything good.
Definitely. Yes, so let me just touch on what's it been like for you to transition from a fighter to a coach here now at Southside.
Okay. I really don't think about this yet. Because still, I feel so much more like a fighter than a coach. What I do here at Southside, I help out, but I look at myself a little bit, but maybe I'm coached 10%, 90%. I'm still a fighter.
Okay.
Really. So I consider myself. Also, I feel just much more as a fighter. One day I will say, okay, now I focus on coaching or maybe teaching at school or something. Because actually, I'm a teacher for physical education and the German language. That's what I studied at university. Maybe I do this, but. Without fighting at the moment, I cannot identify with myself. Coaching, okay, that's nice. That's a nice little bit extra money, but I don't see myself as a coach really. I help people with my experience. People say I'm a good coach. So I enjoy the job. I love teaching. I love coaching. When I was in Germany last month, we visited Germany for 4 weeks, and after my fight, I had in 21 days, I was teaching 20 seminars in all around Europe. I was in Liechtenstein, Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Italy. I was everywhere. I visited 7 countries, was teaching 20 seminars in 21 days because people book me for seminars to coach and share my experience with them in every discipline, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, everything. So I think I really can coach, but I'm not 100% coach at the moment. I'm 10% coach, and I still, how I see myself, I'm fighter. I'm still fighter, and this will be, the next years will not change.
That's great. It's really good to hear that you're still got out fighting, you're still motivated, you're still training.
Absolutely.
I mean, I thought you'd transition more into coaching, but it's quite refreshing to hear that. You're not ready.
I'm not ready for this yet. Not
ready.
Not yet.
Like you were just saying, so you've been all around the world, all over Europe. You've won multiple titles. You've fought everywhere in front of the biggest crowds. A question I get asked a lot is, why Thailand? Now, you've been here for how long?
Now I'm moving and traveling to Thailand since more than 15 years. But I moved to Thailand 7 years ago. First, I was training, fighting and coaching on Koh Samui on the east side of Thailand. And 1.5 years ago, I think we know each other 1.5 years now.
Yes.
1.5 years ago, I moved to Phuket. Only because of business. I can make so much better business here on Phuket. Samui, Koh Samui will always be my number one holiday island in Thailand, but talking about business, it's Phuket. Why Phuket? And why the move to Thailand? Because Phuket is the mecca for martial arts. Phuket is the place to be if you want to make connections for fighting big promotions, visit the good gyms. The best gyms on this planet, the best fighters on this planet, everybody come to Phuket. That's the reason. And for sure, I mean, you like traveling to Thailand too. training is nice, yeah, the training is perfect, but be honest, yeah, we love the beach, we love sunshine, we love coconut, yeah, that's also one reason why I'm in Thailand for sure.
That's it, because I get asked all the time, why'd you go to Thailand? Because where I'm from, UK,
I know, yeah.
You know, obviously in England, they've got some of the best boxing gyms, some of the best fighters in the world. For me personally, outside of boxing, not just boxing, like you said then, touching on the networking, the weather, the nutrition,
everything together.
Everything's here. It's a much better way of, it's a much better culture here. It's a much better way, in my opinion, of lifestyle. Do you think the same about Thailand and Germany?
Absolutely the same. Yes, because I agree 100%. Because what I'm doing here in Thailand is exactly the same what I did before in Germany. I just moved the location, but my job is exactly the same, and I moved because of the country, because of better location. I just changed the location. In Germany, I was training and fighting. Here in Thailand, I'm training, I'm fighting, and I earn a little bit money on the side with the coaching thing. But I moved to Thailand because of the weather, and actually, I want to add one thing. I have the feeling in Thailand, the salt water of the ocean, the sunshine, yeah, when I go to the beach, yeah, or I breathe the fresh air. On Phuket, not so much fresh air like on Samui, but everything together, also the humidity, yeah. I really feel my injuries heal faster, and I feel also that my training has a better effect.
Great.
Maybe because it's the temperature, I'm not sure, maybe the water in the air, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm moving all the time, maybe everything together, but I really feel when I do a training camp in Germany, 6-7 weeks, or I do the same training camp in Thailand, here I have the better effect, stronger effect, really true. I feel this. I feel better training effect here in Thailand.
That's so interesting because I felt the same last time I was here, the humidity, the weather, the whole conditioning here with the training, the heat you feel inside your body when you train here.
Correct, exactly.
You won't feel anywhere else in the world.
Actually, the heat helps me. I never had problems with the heat in Thailand. I start training, I start sweating. Even now, when we do this interview, it's a little bit hot here.
Yeah, it's hot.
I like this, really. I like this for training. Injuries, I don't get injured so much.
Yeah.
If I get injured, it heals faster. My bones, my knees, everything. It feels just much better. So Thailand for me is really the place to be. It's the place to be for training, for making business, and have good life too.
Completely agree. I completely agree. Okay, so we're going to close the interview off. The last thing I want to ask you is, as a former world champion, as someone that a lot of kids can look up to, we're going to tag Daniel's Instagram, maybe pull up some YouTube clips of this guy.
Awesome.
If you're a young fighter who's aspiring to be a world champion, especially in kickboxing, or if you're just someone who wants to fight everybody, anywhere, anytime, check this guy out. The last thing I want to say is, what is your advice to these people back home who are looking to get into fighting, who want to take it seriously, want to be like you? Tell me what your advice is.
Love what you do. Just love what you do. It doesn't matter what it is. When we talk about martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, love what you do. If it's just another profession, if you are an ice cream man, love what you do. If you sell coconuts on the street, love what you do. If you are a fighter, you go to the gym every day, love what you do, If you are a lawyer or a businessman or a manager, just fucking love what you do, because then you will be successful in life, and it doesn't matter in which discipline you live. It doesn't matter what you do in life. Most important thing in life is to be happy, to enjoy what you do every day, enjoy the beautiful sunshine, have a good time, love life, because life is beautiful.
What a great answer. Absolute legend. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. Hope everyone at home enjoyed the podcast with Daniel. Like I said, go check this guy out. He's a very interesting character. If you're ever in Thailand, Phuket, come down to Southside here. We'll show you around. Daniel's here for anyone who wants to pick his brains about fighting, wants some coaching here. There's some top level fighters here. And maybe put in the comments who you want to see his podcast next.
Awesome, boys. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.